Hey there, Jeff Nelson from VegSource. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please consider subscribing to my channel and signing up for my free email newsletter. There's a link in the description. You can click it right now while the video is running. Put in your email address. I'll email you a couple of times a month with interesting information that I think you'll want to know. Okay, this video is part 2 on a series that is about ethics in research and about the reliability both of nutritional information and the source of that information. I really want to say that I appreciate the comments and the questions that I'm getting, and thank you very much for taking your time to share your take on these issues. I try to read everything and respond where I can. A couple of people have asked me whether my channel is becoming the Joel Fuhrman expose channel, and no, I have one more video that I'm going to make after this one, which is responding to an article Dr. Fuhrman wrote about my first DHA video. And then I'll be moving on to other topics. And some of you have made suggestions, which I appreciate, for things I can look into on the next video. So thank you. In my last video, which was part 1 of this series, I looked at a DHA study that Dr. Joel Fuhrman frequently references to promote the idea that vegans are deficient in omega-3. In spite of a large amount of evidence that, showed he was the lead researcher on that project, he was not listed as an author in the published version of that study, and in fact has publicly declared on multiple occasions that he really didn't participate in any way. So as I showed in that video, not listing an author who's made a significant contribution to a study is called ghost authoring, and it's a form of scientific misconduct because it can hide financial conflicts of interest. Okay. Being well informed is something that all of us as vegans following a plant-based diet want to do. And because taking supplements and undergoing medical tests can be not only expensive, but also have unintended consequences, that is what I'm going to focus on in this video. And I'm going to look at how Dr. Fuhrman's marketing of DHA supplements and omega-3 tests has striking similarities to the way he's promoted other supplements and other medical tests over the past 15 years. In several cases, the language and the health claims for each product is virtually identical to what he's now using to push DHA. So now let's look at some examples. In April of 2016, Dr. Fuhrman announced on his Facebook page that he would be selling a new blood test called ONCOblot. I don't know how much Dr. Fuhrman was charging for this test. It says you have to call his office to find out. But this article, it says the test could cost as much as $1,700. Dr. Fuhrman said the test could detect over 25 different types of cancer. Here is his description of the test on his website from September of 2017. This is from the archive website that keeps copies of web pages. Dr. Fuhrman stated that if you took the ONCOblot test, you could determine whether or not you had cancer in your body. If you did have cancer, the test could also tell you where the cancer was, where it was coming from. And not only that, but the test could detect cancer at stage 0, meaning years before there were any symptoms or before the cancer could be detected by any standard test. Dr. Fuhrman stated that he has clinical evidence and experience that shows that his nutritional protocol is effective at reversing early-stage cancers. To my knowledge, Dr. Fuhrman has never submitted a single case report documenting any of these cancers that he says he's cured. He went on, plus a recent study has shown that the majority of these early diagnosed cancers are reversible with supplemental regimens designed for this purpose. Once you wait for the traditional diagnostic modalities, then nutrition is of less value, and too often the window for nutritional reversal has been lost. Now, this is a screenshot from this past week from the same page on Dr. Fuhrman's website where he was selling the ONCOblot test. You can see the test is not there anymore. It's gone because the test no longer exists. The test was unproven, was never validated, was never FDA approved. This did not stop Dr. Fuhrman from selling the test to his followers, though. Not only did Dr. Fuhrman sell a test which was never proven to accurately diagnose cancer, but he claimed that he could cure early-stage cancer. Looking again at his website, Dr. Fuhrman states, "We have established an effective protocol for these individuals that will save lives and help them avoid needless and invasive medical treatments for cancer." As I mentioned earlier, Dr. Fuhrman has never published a study or even a case report that shows that he could cure any cancer. Suggesting to people that you can cure cancer when there's no evidence that you can is defined as quackery and fraud. On this page of the American Cancer Society website, under this section, Fake Treatment, Quackery, and Fraud, the American Cancer Society calls quackery the promotion of methods that claim to prevent, diagnose, or cure cancers that are known to be false, disproven, or which are unproven and most likely false. Promoters of such methods often use patient testimonials as evidence of their effectiveness and safety. In the definition of fraud, they include advertising treatments that have not been tested, but the sellers still claim that they can help you. Imagine being told that you had breast cancer based on the results of Dr. Fuhrman's test, even though perhaps it wasn't true. Well, you don't need to imagine, because we can look at real cases of people whose lives were devastated by taking this test. Here is just a sample of what can happen after taking a test like this. We see stories of women who were told from an ONCOblot test that they had breast cancer, and then underwent multiple tests and invasive procedures such as biopsies to try and find the cancer that was never really there in the first place. Thousands of dollars were spent needlessly, and the women were emotionally distraught throughout the whole process. We also see reports from men who were told they did not have prostate cancer despite an elevated PSA level, and then were diagnosed with the disease sometime later and then had to endure more aggressive treatment because the cancer was not caught earlier. These men suffered severe emotional distress and will likely have their lives shortened because of the harm from the ONCOblot test. I think you can now get an idea why oncologists weren't recommending this test and why cancer specialty organizations like the American Cancer Society weren't promoting it either. Dr. Ezard Ernst was the chair of complementary medicine at the University of Exeter in England for nearly 30 years. He's published 53 books and well over 1,000 articles in peer-reviewed medical literature. He's won numerous prestigious scientific awards and is considered a leading expert on alternative medicine and exposing cancer quackery. Regarding the ONCOblot test, Professor Ernst said, "ONCOblot was never adequately validated. Such a test was therefore similar to a fake mine detector. Trusting it could easily have cost your life." Let's take a look at another test that Dr. Fuhrman sold. This was an in-home iodine test that he sold from 2012 to 2018 for $131. Here you can see the test on his website in July of 2017, the home iodine test, $130.99. A home health screening to assure that your iodine is favorable, neither too low or too high. Here is the same page more recently after his website redesign showing the iodine home test product. Now, in March of last year, the website sciencebasedmedicine.org revealed that this test has no value for determining an individual's iodine status. Here's an article they wrote, "Dr. Fuhrman sells useless iodine test." And it says, "Joel Fuhrman is selling an overpriced iodine urine test that is not valid for testing individuals." So the iodine test he was selling gave results that were meaningless. You have to wonder how many people purchased the test and were told that their iodine levels were too high when they really weren't, or were too low, and then they took high doses of iodine to correct the deficiency that didn't exist, perhaps buying the iodine from Dr. Fuhrman. Dr. Fuhrman removed the test from his website without an explanation. He did not offer a refund to people who purchased the test. To my knowledge, he did not apologize. Instead, a couple months after this article went up criticizing him, he removed the test from his store, and then he contacts sciencebasedmedicine.org and asked them to delete the article about him. They declined, but they posted the email Dr. Fuhrman had sent them, and the article can still be viewed today. Here's what Dr. Fuhrman wrote. "I was hoping you could remove the article criticizing me for selling a urine test for iodine on my website, since I no longer do so. I had removed that test due to concerns about the misuse and inaccuracy of the test before I saw this article criticizing me about it. Since reviewing the literature on this subject, I agree that these tests are not needed for the general public, and I had taken it off our website." It seems to me that this article is helpful since it educates the public about an unnecessary test they might otherwise spend money on. So I would think Dr. Fuhrman would want this article to stay up to help protect the public from wasting their money on what he now admitted was a useless test. For 6 years, Dr. Fuhrman sold this test for $131. He encouraged people to buy it by asserting that because iodine is crucial for brain development, you should, quote, assure that your iodine levels are in a favorable range and get tested. These are very similar to the assertions Dr. Fuhrman makes today with the omega-3 blood test and DHA supplements. Dr. Fuhrman sells both of these on his website. As recently as 2018, Dr. Fuhrman believed that it was important to know what your iodine level was for your brain health. Apparently in 2019, that's no longer relevant. Consider the fact that Dr. Fuhrman made lots of claims about the ONCOblot test, and he was confident about the in-home iodine test as well. However, neither of these tests are mentioned on his website anymore, and he no longer talks about them. He never gave an explanation as to why he stopped recommending them. Do you think that there's a chance that other tests that are currently being sold on Dr. Fuhrman's website might suffer the same fate? Well, let's look at some other products Dr. Fuhrman sells. This article debunking the iodine test on sciencebasedmedicine.org got a lot of attention. One commenter below the article brought up a concern with some of Dr. Fuhrman's supplements. The person wrote, "Would you also happen to know why Dr. Fuhrman, 1, sells 3 supplements, LDL Biotect, Glucose Biotect, and Ultra Cell Biotect, that contain green tea extract, which has been linked to liver failure and is a supplement that Consumer Reports says everyone should avoid?" This comment was about green tea extract found in 3 of Dr. Fuhrman's products. The commenter linked to a Consumer Reports article entitled, "Liver Damage from Supplements is on the Rise. Green tea extract and bodybuilding pills pose a particular risk, study finds." The article talks about green tea extract having caused a number of cases of liver damage, some resulting in the need for liver transplant or death. The component of green tea extract that is thought to be responsible for this is known as EGCG. Consumer Reports also has this article called 15 Supplement Ingredients Everyone Should Avoid. And it says, "Our experts agree that none of these supplement ingredients provide sufficient health benefits to justify the risk." They list several risks of green tea extract, including elevates blood pressure and heart rate, liver damage, possibly death. In the comment on sciencebasedmedicine.org, the commenter noted that Dr. Fuhrman sells several supplements that contain green tea extract, LDL Biotect, Glucose Biotect, Ultra Cell Biotect. A short time after this comment went up on sciencebasedmedicine.org, Dr. Fuhrman added a line to each of these 3 products in his online store, like this. Note, Dr. Fuhrman recommends no more than 300 milligrams a day EGCG from green tea supplements. 2 tablets of LDL Biotect contain 100 milligram EGCG. So after many years of selling products with EGCG, Dr. Fuhrman decided to add this warning line to each of the products with green tea extract, as well as showing how much EGCG was in each one. You can look at the pages for these 3 products in the archive. I'm linking them in the description. You can see that Dr. Fuhrman never had any warnings like this for any of the products before this comment went up. Dr. Fuhrman sold these products for years without such a warning. The safety concerns of EGCG have been known for well over 15 years. Here's a sample of articles on green tea extract which document liver damage from this supplement. Now, it doesn't take much green tea extract to cause liver damage in a susceptible person. For example, here's an article from the Annals of Internal Medicine from January 2006. I've linked to it in the description. This describes a case of a woman who developed severe liver damage after 4 months of consuming a supplement with 383 milligrams of EGCG in it. This article lists 9 other cases of liver toxicity that were thought to result from green tea extract as well. Now, while drinking green tea is safe, the consumption of green tea extract has never been proven safe and has serious health risks associated with it. Dr. Fuhrman has not offered an explanation as to why he started advising people to avoid consuming more than 300 milligrams of EGCG daily after having no such warning for many years. He does not mention that EGCG has been associated with liver damage. Again, we know that consuming as little as 383 milligrams of green tea extract over a period of 4 months caused a case of liver damage reported well over a decade ago. Now, if someone were to consume all 3 of the supplements that Dr. Fuhrman sells that contain green tea extract, the amount of EGCG consumed in a day would be 509 milligrams, much more than the 300 milligrams that he proposes as a limit. Let's look at how the math adds up. LDL Biotech, it says take 2 caps, 100 milligrams, twice daily, so that's 200 milligrams EGCG. Glucose Biotect, it says take 2 caps, 90 milligrams, 3 times daily, so that's 270 milligrams EGCG. And Ultra Cell Biotect, the label says take 2 caps, 39 milligrams daily, so that's 39 milligrams EGCG. Adding those amounts together brings you to 509 milligrams of EGCG in one day. Dr. Fuhrman's website does not block anyone from ordering all 3 supplements at the same time. Dr. Fuhrman was previously selling another green tea extract supplement in his online store. It was made by another company, and it was called Tea Green 97. Here is the product page from the archive showing that Dr. Fuhrman sold this green tea extract called Tea Green 97. This is from May 2016. Here is a description of the contents of this supplement, and you can see that each capsule contains 95 milligrams of EGCG, and the recommended use is 1 to 2 capsules twice daily. So if you followed the recommended use of this product that Dr. Fuhrman sold, you would be getting 380 milligrams of EGCG per day. So this one product alone would put you over Dr. Fuhrman's stated recommended level of 300 milligrams of EGCG per day. While the risk of liver damage from green tea extract is probably relatively low, it is widely accepted by the scientific community that there is a cause and effect relationship. Since 2003, one particular supplement with green tea extract has been banned in France and Spain due to cases of liver toxicity. So people should be aware of this risk so that they can determine for themselves if the perceived benefits of green tea extract outweigh the risks of liver damage. But there's no warning on Dr. Fuhrman's website or on the supplements to help you make that decision. Consumer Reports says, no, it's not worth it. But in fact, Dr. Fuhrman states the opposite on the description of his green tea extract containing cholesterol supplement. He says, all of the ingredients in LDL Protect are completely safe and without side effects. I think most people know that it's safest and best to strive to avoid drugs and supplements by living healthfully. There are some important differences, though, between prescription drugs and supplements, though. Prior to going on the market, drugs have to be proven effective for a particular indication. They have to go through extensive safety testing. And because they're approved by the FDA, you're guaranteed to be getting in the pill what is listed on the label. Supplements, on the other hand, they don't have to be proven effective. They're not required to be proven safe. And because they're not approved by the FDA, there's no guarantee that you're actually getting what the label says. It's not unusual for supplements to be tested and found to contain much more or much less of a given ingredient than is listed on the label. Here is an article from National Geographic about a study. A new study shows that some popular dietary supplements may underestimate the amounts of vitamins and other ingredients being delivered. With a prescription or over-the-counter drug, you get a package insert which lists every possible adverse effect that has been reported, no matter how rare it is. It is not disclosed on Dr. Fuhrman's supplements, which contain green tea extract, that there have been cases of severe liver damage and even death. When Dr. Fuhrman discusses pharmaceutical medications, he is right to point out the possible side effects and dangers, even if they're very rare. For example, in this article about statins, Dr. Fuhrman says that in addition to possible muscle damage, statins can increase the risk of kidney injury and diabetes. He doesn't mention in this article, but the actual risk of both these adverse effects is approximately 0.4%. Though uncommon, people should certainly be made aware of the potential adverse effects of a product that they're consuming. However, Dr. Fuhrman does not apply the same standard to his own supplements, so it is up to the consumers to do their own research. Dr. Fuhrman has long spoken out against the use of statins, which he calls risky. And despite his concerns, Dr. Fuhrman sold a statin himself on his website for years. Here is a page from the archive showing Dr. Fuhrman selling this product in 2016. It was called Organic RYR, or red yeast rice. Red yeast rice is identical to the statin drug known as Mevacor and has all of the risks of statins that Dr. Fuhrman warns about. The difference between Mevacor and red yeast rice is that the Mevacor is FDA approved. So you get the exact amount that's listed on the label. With red yeast rice, there's no guarantee. In fact, because of the large number of reports of discrepancies between the product label and the actual amount of drug in the product, red yeast rice is also on Consumer Reports' list of 15 supplement ingredients to always avoid. In his description of the red yeast rice, Dr. Fuhrman said the product would support healthy blood lipids. He doesn't describe statins this way, despite the fact that they are identical to his product. In addition, Dr. Fuhrman did not seem concerned about the risk of statins when he was selling red yeast rice. Dr. Fuhrman is passionate about the products that he sells now, and he speaks with authority and confidence and certainty. So let's go back a few years about another product that Dr. Fuhrman used to sell but no longer does, and look at the language that he used in marketing it. This is in the mid-2000s. Dr. Fuhrman sold Vessel Protect. This is from 2005. Dr. Fuhrman sold this product to help people lower their homocysteine levels. He said, many individuals have high homocysteine levels because of genetically insufficient enzymes. In addition, he said, Vessel Protect helped people maintain an adequate level of SAMe, a deficiency of which could, quote, cause depression and loss of mental function with aging. Currently, Dr. Fuhrman talks about DHA supplementation in a very similar way. He says many people who are deficient in DHA are this way due to, quote, genetic differences in conversion enzyme activity, and that DHA deficiency causes depression and loss of mental function with aging. Dr. Fuhrman uses similar language and makes similar claims to sell different products. We see that Dr. Fuhrman claimed that Vessel Protect did the same thing in 2005 that he claims DHA does today. Dr. Fuhrman does not sell Vessel Protect anymore. The reason that medical societies and legitimate experts do not recommend most supplements is because they're unproven. As I discussed in my first video about DHA and supplements, many supplements that seem promising later turn out to be either useless or actually cause harm. And at the same time, when a product is clearly beneficial, even if it has only a slight benefit, we see that specialists and medical societies will recommend it. For example, in regards to DHA supplements, it's not an accident that the Alzheimer's Association, the American Academy of Neurology, and neurologists, dementia specialists, movement disorder specialists, that they don't recommend fish oil, they don't recommend DHA supplements for the prevention of Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. This is because there is no evidence of benefit from DHA. It's not that there's some conspiracy to hide, good evidence that about DHA that's being suppressed. The people trying to push DHA as some important supplement are the same people who are making a lot of money selling it. In my first video about DHA, I talked about Dr. David Simon. Just to remind you, Dr. Simon is director of the Parkinson's Disease and Movement Disorders Center at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, which is called a National Parkinson's Disease Center of Excellence. He is also a professor of neurology at Harvard Medical School, and he conducts research on agents that may have protective effects in Parkinson's and related disorders. Dr. Simon completed a fellowship in movement disorders at Harvard Medical School after 4 years of a neurology residency, in addition to extensive clinical experience from treating thousands of patients with Parkinson's. He's also a renowned researcher. He's got a PhD. He's authored numerous articles on Parkinson's in respected medical journals as well. So he was kind enough to review the article on DHA that Dr. Fuhrman had posted on his website, and Dr. Simon's opinion was that Dr. Fuhrman's article was a biased sales pitch for DHA, not an objective evaluation of the evidence. There's a profound difference between the depth of knowledge of Parkinson's between someone like Dr. Simon, a true Parkinson's expert, and Dr. Fuhrman, who completed a 3-year residency in family medicine and has never published a single case report, let alone an actual study related to Parkinson's. It's also important to know that there's a wide variation in the quality of medical journals, that just because an article gets published, it cannot be assumed that the data presented is accurate or even important. So knowing a bit about the journal in which a study appears can be useful when assessing the validity of the research. For example, in his recent McDougall interview, Dr. Fuhrman announced that his latest weight loss research had been published in an impressive-sounding journal called the International Journal of Disease Reversal and Prevention.
In my study I just published in this, the International Journal of Disease Prevention Reversal, I did show an average of about 50 pounds weight loss in this year's.
Okay, so this journal that published Dr. Fuhrman's research, this journal was literally created this year, and Dr. Fuhrman's weight loss research was published in the first and only issue. How high do you think the standards of this journal are? Dr. Fuhrman's weight loss study that he was touting was an online survey of self-selected members of his website and some patients who were seen in his office. They had no entry or exclusion criteria. All that was required was a declaration that his eating plan had been followed for a period of time. So were there any participants taking weight loss drugs? Were there any that were exercising frequently? Did they have diseases which cause weight loss? A genuine weight loss study would have accounted for these and countless other factors and would have even a control group. Specifically, you would have two groups of overweight people who share common demographics. One group gets the intervention, the other group gets the standard diet advice. Then you would compare the two groups at a later time, such as 3 months, 6 months, or a year later. It's hard to see what contribution to nutritional knowledge was made by publishing Dr. Fuhrman's online survey. Okay, that is part 2. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Please share this video with others. If you found it informative, give it a like. Don't forget to sign up for my free newsletter. I'll see you next time. Thanks.